Hello, everybody, and welcome to another iconic segment of A Good Lawyer podcast, part of the EIL network, Excellence in Lawyering. I am Esteban Stephen Garcia, your non lawyer, coast to coast opinion host, and this is where I delve into the captivating world of brilliant legal minds, such as with our guest today, in hopes of enriching yours. Folks, we have a great one today for you. This is a special segment for a law firm that is just doing great things, not only in the legal arena, but community wise as well. Their name is Yarrito and Wolfe. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the team of Yarrito and Wolfe. First, we have Mr. Yudo Yarrito. Yudo, you like to be called though, right? Yudo?
Yudo, yeah, Udovich is a mouthful. So Yudo, everyone since I was a kid nicknamed Yudo, so it's kind of stuck. Even in the legal community, everyone knows me as Yudo, not necessarily Udovich.
All
So
right.
Yudo, and everyone could call me Yudo for short.
Perfect. Yudo it is. And then we have Mr. Eric Wolfe. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
I cannot complain. And we definitely need to say hello to the woman responsible for setting all of this up, Ms. Lauren Spencer. Lauren, good afternoon to you as well.
Good afternoon, Esteban. Thanks for having us.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you for being here, y'all. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time. The the number one question that I really want to get out there is, who is Yarrito and Wolfe? Who is Yarrito and Wolfe Pllc? And who is Yarrito and Wolfe individually?
I think you need to start that one, Eric.
So, Yarrito and Wolfe, we're a personal injury law firm located here in Central Texas with locations in Austin and San Antonio, serving the residents in these areas and also statewide. We formed the law firm several months ago, and we're really looking forward to being able to provide top-notch legal services to the residents of our communities.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. Yudo?
Yeah, I mean, here I'm obviously Hispanic, even though my name might not say it as obvious, but we look forward to helping our Hispanic community, right? Spanish-speaking clients only. That's a very undervalued client base, right? Where at least we have the benefit of having Spanish-speaking attorneys in our firm, right? That can actually communicate with their clients, all the Spanish-speaking clients, right? And at least give them the confidence that they need, right, in an attorney, right? So we also value our big Hispanic Spanish-speaking community only, where we could help them out, right? And they're confident in speaking with their attorney, actually convey any issues or concerns they might have with their individual attorneys.
And outside the office, well, linked to the office, we are a family-run firm. Eric and his family are very heavily involved, as well as our family. Yudo and I are married. We're an attorney couple, and we've been working together for more than 6 years now professionally, and just want to teach our kids, that everyone deserves representation. Everyone should know their rights, and we want to help the community understand that.
Y'all have really given back to this community in ways that are just spectacular. Recently, y'all had a back to school drive that helped a lot of privileged kids heading back to school. Can you tell us all about it?
We joined forces with other medical providers and other attorneys in town, friends of ours, to give back as sponsors in the back to school drive. So I will absolutely give Beth Sanchez a shout out. The Community by Sanchez put on the event. I believe she said it was her 5th year running it. And we were able to come in as a community sponsor, as Yarrito and Wolfe, to help pass out school supplies to elementary and middle school children, as well as give them some information about us so that they can, in the event, in the unfortunate event they need an attorney, they know where they can find one.
Where did this passion for giving back come from? Yudo, what say you?
You know, I didn't grow up, I grew up, I guess, as a blue collar family background, right? So for us, those little things, I remember as a kid, I went to those events, right? I found it fun, right? My parents did not knowing what they actually were, right? But I also found it fun. I'm from McAllen, Texas, right? So the Valley, it's basically 98% blue collar family. So a lot of schools hosted this, right? A lot of other entities hosted these type of events. So it was always a great feeling as a kid because you're kind of innocent. You don't know why you're going. You think it's just a big community event, but in reality, it does help them out, right? For all those people that can't afford, regular basic school supplies, to be able to give back, right, and give that self accomplishment feels good, right? Feels good to seeing the smiling faces, interacting with them, right? People from all walks of life. So it's good. It feels good to get back. Kind of brings me back memories. And now as I get older, hopefully get more confident on why I know the reason why I'm doing all this stuff, right? Is to ultimately at the end give back, right? And also show my kids, hey, this is what we got to do once you're kind of up there, right? Making sure, don't forget where you come from, right? So that's what I'm trying to do, instill that family values, right? Everyone matters, right? It's easy to forget, where you come from. So that's one thing I want to instill in my family. And as a firm, right? We are a family-based firm, how Lauren would say. So we want to make sure those values are always there.
That's fantastic and very well said. I know that for us, we've seen a lot of different needs that are out there in different communities, especially the folks that we're dealing with on a daily basis that happen to be attorneys, legal professionals, and so forth. I mean, it just shines a whole new light on the industry because it's not so much y'all battling out every day. You're literally giving back to the communities that you live in. I think that's huge. We're all human beings, right? And I think we'll get a lot further in life when we start or stop treating humans like beings, right?
Yeah.
And I'm super proud to let everyone know about that because let's face it, there is that need for folks don't have what they need to go back to school, the basic necessities. And y'all stepped up to the plate in a big way. So kudos to y'all.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Go ahead, Eric.
I was going to say, we're very fortunate to be where we are.
Mhm.
And I believe it's our duty and our responsibility uh, to do what we can to give back. And
That's very important.
that was a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to do that.
Mhm.
Not only for ourselves, but I like Yudo said, I mean, our children were there and in teaching them young that everybody matters. Everybody deserves respect.
What do y'all bring to the table that most folks don't? And what are people missing? When these people walk through your doors, they've either lost a loved one, someone that they love, they're disabled, whatever the case may be, the worst possible times of their lives are coming to you. Why do you think folks choose you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a excellent question. I mean, as we know, there's multiple firms to choose from, right? The field that we're in, personal injury, right? There's a lot of firms that anyone could Google, go to, call. What we pride ourselves in saying now is we actually give the client the time of day, right? With so many firms out there, so many accidents, right? A lot of these firms, they don't treat, right, the client individually as they should be, in my opinion, right? We give them the customer service that they deserve, right? Even if it's, listening to they had a bad day, we're there, talking to an attorney, right? They could speak to us whenever they need to. You're just not getting put up on a number, right? Not talking to a paralegal, right? Or basically the attorney doesn't give you a call back, right? So we pride ourselves in actually speaking to our clients, right? No matter if it's something very minuscule or nothing related to the case itself, right? If, say, for example, they have some other issue, well, at least listen to them out, see what else we could do to help them, or at least guide them in the right direction for that other issue they might have, right? So it's basically the customer service aspect that we provide, right? Because we know there's thousands of firms you could choose from, right? But we do pride ourselves in communicating with our clients, right? And making sure if there's any issues or concerns they might have, answer to the best of our knowledge, right? And give them that confidence. Hey, this is why you chose us, right? Because you could at least you could talk to Eric, you could talk to Lauren, right?
Mhm.
You're not just getting put off talking to a paralegal or a receptionist and then
Mhm.
saying, hey, the attorney's going to give you a call back. And then you go months without ever talking to an attorney, right? That's kind of also the change we want to implement at our new firm is that we don't want to forget as the bigger you get, forget about the clients themselves and they just become numbers, right? We want to make sure we instill, hey, we're part of this firm, our names are on this firm, so let's
Mhm.
talk to them, right? They're coming here because they're choosing us, right? They're not choosing a paralegal. They're not choosing another receptionist. They're choosing the attorneys on the name of the firm, right? So
Mhm.
I get it. I understand as you get bigger, a lot of firm partners and they forget that little aspect, right? They might want to talk to Mr. Wolf. They might want to talk to Mr. Yarrito or just any other attorney for Miss Spencer.
Right. And that's what I alluded to earlier was that, there is a myriad of other places to go. You're obviously doing something different than other people were doing in your field. I think these people nowadays, when they're injured, and like I said, a loved one's been taken from them, they're now physically challenged, or what have you. They know they have choices now. And I think it's very important to let everybody know that y'all do things differently and you actually do care for your clients. And you haven't forgotten that they are human beings.
Absolutely. And I think, a lot of lawyers like to talk and there's always talking to people. And I think what's very important is not just talking, but listening. And that, piggybacking off of what Yudo was talking about, the direct access to the owners, the lawyers, and not just for us to tell you what's going on, not just for us to explain things, but for us to sit and take the time to listen to the story, to listen what the concerns are, to listen to what the needs are, and not be dismissive of those things. Because I think that is one of those things that gets lost. Like Yudo's saying, when firms get big, it's everybody's so pressed for time. It's how quickly can somebody get off the phone and making sure that we don't operate that.
Well said. Lauren, what are the questions that most folks they don't know to ask?
A really big part of the vast majority of our clients' lives who have been affected by a motor vehicle collision, for example,
Mhm.
they lose their vehicle, whether it's just for a couple of days or weeks. They lose their means of transportation and sometimes their only means of transportation to get their kids to school, to go to work, to
Mhm.
just function, out in the world. And one of the things that we do offer is as a courtesy, we help our clients resolve their property damage claims. So
Mhm.
we take no fee out of that whatsoever. We take the time to gather all of the information that our clients have, and sometimes it's just a photo. And we will go and facilitate some kind of resolution for them, and hopefully it's the best one, the best thing. One of the things they should know, something that the community should know, always document things, take photographs,
Yes.
get the information from the other party involved, whether it's a car accident, a slip and fall at a store, you're working and someone did something negligently, someone did something wrong and you got hurt. You need to document everything that you can.
Something that I kind of always want to get out there, and because I have heard some horror stories of folks who, because, and I love the work that our great men and women in law enforcement do, every single day. However, when they are dealing with an accident, an 18-wheeler tragedy, again, you're already injured, you're hurt, your family members or what have you. And then the last thing you need is for that officer to come over to you and hand you a ticket that you're responsible for this accident or you're at fault for, we'll say. A lot of times the officers are just going by hearsay, right? By witnesses' accounts of what happened, what they believe happened. Should folks still call you the experts if they've been handed one of those? They're severely injured, they're hurt, their loved one is, et cetera, et cetera. Shouldn't they still call a legal expert, such as yourselves, Yarrito and Wolfe, if they've been told that, hey, you're responsible for this accident, even though, quite frankly, they're not?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The officers, the majority of the time, did not witness the collision, right? So, they're working hard. They investigate a lot of crashes, they do their best to obtain the evidence from the crash scene and talk to the folks that are involved to find witnesses and whatnot. But it's generally secondhand knowledge, and not that firsthand knowledge. And so I think it's very important because a law firm like ours, we can investigate more in depth to try to figure out if there's other information out there that could be beneficial to helping develop a claim against that 18-wheeler driver. There can be a myriad of reasons why that driver was maybe also at fault or 100% at fault. It's important to understand that just because an officer thought that you did something wrong doesn't mean that you're absolutely barred from recovering. Texas, does allow you to recover even if you're at fault up to a certain percentage. So if a jury thinks you're 10% at fault or 20% at fault, you can still recover. So I think it's very important for someone in that position to seek advice from an attorney such as us to perform that type of investigation to uncover what else might be out there. And quite frankly, even if you are issued a citation, as long as you don't plead guilty to the citation, that's not evidence anyways. So not admissible evidence.
Yeah.
So to answer the question, absolutely, I think it's always beneficial to talk to an attorney to figure out what your options may be to help you dig deeper into finding out exactly what happened, because we tend to have more expansive set of resources to help obtain that information, obtain additional documents. Maybe there's body cam videos or maybe surveillance videos by businesses. There's so much information that might be out there that, quite frankly, the officer may not even have known about. So we can help try to track that stuff down.
Yudo, anything to add to that?
No, I think Eric pretty much covered all of it. Yeah, I would say if you receive a citation, don't automatically think that you do not have a case, right? Especially when it comes to the crash. We have handful of examples, plenty of examples where clients have called us, right? Like, hey, I'm worried I hadn't received this. I received a citation. They're replacing me at fault. What else can I do, right? Then they come to us, we resolve it and overturn the whole case, right? So just because you received a citation and they're placing you at fault for the accident doesn't necessarily mean you were at fault, right? I would say call us first, right? Call an attorney, call our firm so we can investigate properly, right? Investigate properly. And if there's nothing else, then we'll at least give you the time of day and explain, right, the case to you, explain the reasons why we can or can't help you out. But at least let us investigate and do our due diligence first before just getting turned away.
And,
right.
do not plead guilty to the citation.
Correct. Lauren, anything to add?
No, I think these guys got it covered. You have the expert in pre-litigation and the expert in litigation giving you the information and giving you these answers from two different points of view. Okay, so they really do make up the yin and yang of our firm here.
Fantastic. Okay, next I want to do what's called a what would you do? And this is Basically, I'm going to be throwing out real life situations that happens every day in Texas. But this is the part where we're going to do myth or fact. Number one, minor damage means minor injury.
Myth. The biggest myth.
The
Two,
biggest.
oh, go ahead.
No, that is one of the biggest myths. I believe. We pride ourselves where a lot of clients, a lot of car accidents, right? Especially clients get turned away, right? Because the first thing they look at, an attorney usually or a law firm will be like, "Let me see the damage to your vehicle." They're like, "No, you can't be hurt." I'm like, "That's not possible." Like, if the client's telling you I'm hurt, right? Don't look at the damage to the vehicle, right? It's a factor to consider, but does not bar you from seeking treatment or getting help or trying to recover from the at-fault party, aka their insurance companies, right? That is something I believe insurance companies have trained, right, through defense counsel to defense firms. They train them to say no damage, no payment. That's not true, right? That is not true. That's an easy way out. I'm a big and firm believer in scratching the bumper and a rollover the same to me if the client's hurt, right? And I'm kind of passionate about that because I've seen the results. I've seen it in injuries, right? There's been rollovers, right, where clients would tell me I'm not hurt whatsoever, right? I'm like, how? And then there's how you say minor damage to the vehicle. I'm surfing through all this. I never had this until this impact. Okay, well, the result is that impact, right? The result was that collision, right? Even though you can't physically see it, you really can't know how, our client was sitting, what position they were in, right? They were at the stoplight, completely relaxed, right? And then boom, rear ender, right? Might not show big damage, but it's just the body, right? Everyone's different, right? So, like Eric was saying at the very beginning, we take the time to listen to our clients, right? Not just talk to them, but actually take the time to listen to their issues, right? And then we go based on that, right? So I'm a firm believer, right? Minor damage does not mean you do not have a case. You definitely do, right? And I would like to tell everyone, audience out there, if you got turned away because of that fact, call us. Right.
That's right.
That's our recalls.
Absolutely. And then as the one you asked earlier, what do we believe makes us different?
Right.
And you wouldn't believe the number of cases that we see that were turned down because of this single factor. I
can believe it.
And we take every one of those cases very seriously. This is certainly not something that we're dismissive of. And we certainly treat those individuals the same as we treat everybody else, with the same level of attention, the same level of detail and compassion, because their life has been affected. Now, on the outside, the insurance company, the defense attorneys, they may think it's all BS, but to these individuals, it's not. And we don't treat it the way the other side wants us to treat it.
Love that. And that's so true. And that right there is what sets y'all apart from everybody else. Y'all actually do care. So the next one I have is social media won't affect your case.
Gosh.
Eric's expertise right there.
Yep.
He is a litigator.
I've seen so many of these things.
Social media, my goodness. Yeah, it tends to help us a lot less than it helps the other side. I can tell you that. Those are certainly conversations that we have from the outset. Whenever it first started, it was like, turn it all off. Don't, you don't use it at all. And then really trying to, tell the clients how bad it could be, and watching some very good cases be very, very harmfully damaged by what people put online. And now it's, the reality is nobody's going to shut their social media off, right? So it's just having those conversations from the beginning, letting folks know, not just don't do it, but explain to them why, what is put online can hurt them, and it's one of the things I tell my kids all the time. They're getting to the age now where, internet and phones and everything are are becoming a thing that they're going to use and they're going to see and all that. And once something's on the internet, it's there forever.
Oh yeah.
It is permanent. And if someone digs hard enough, they're going to find it. Absolutely, this is a myth. It absolutely can hurt your case. So yeah, be very, very careful. But if there's anything that's out there that's on your social media that you're worried about, obviously having an attorney can sit down and walk through it to see how damaging it might be. But really, in my world, in the litigation world, it's walking through all those things, having the conversations, letting them know, hey, this is where the other side's going to try to attack you on it, and just getting them as prepared as possible for the questions that they face. So they have the best answers to give, and not just go into it blind, because if it's already happened, it's already happened. There's no sense in scolding anybody about it, but identifying what the potential problems are and helping to come to solutions for those problems. And that's what we're here for.
And never lie to your attorney.
It's the biggest one,
Right.
for sure.
This is a safe zone. That's one thing that I tell our clients all the time, and in discussing social media. This is a safe zone where you are absolutely invited to tell us everything and anything that you're concerned about on one of those platforms, because the insurance companies will have all the resources to go and pull that one really damaging post, to pull that video of you salsa dancing with your fiance and flinging her in the air the day before you're supposed to get shoulder surgery. So they're going to find it. So just be open with us, and we'll stop the bleeding, and we'll figure out a solution.
I mean, don't go to a Coldplay concert.
No, don't do that. Yeah.
And then what about the proverbial recorded questionnaire phone call with the adjuster? I mean, let me finish that. Good or bad?
I mean, in my personal opinion, if it's a third party that's asking for your recorded statement, I don't know how that's ever a good thing. Maybe there's some, exceptions to that, but I think as a general rule, not a good thing. If let's say you don't have an attorney and the adjuster for the individual who hit you is asking for that kind of a statement, I think that's a great time to reach out and start talking to attorneys before you get that statement, because very much like social media, once you've said it, and it's recorded and it's there forever. And like they say, it can and will be used against you at every single step that they can do that. So, yeah, not advisable.
Yeah, simple answer, record statements, don't do it. Before you give one, call, I got Eric said, call an attorney, right? Get advice, right? And we'll handle everything from that point forward. But they want to record a statement, there's a reason for it, all right? The reason is usually against you, right? They have a responsibility to their insured, right? That other party. So obviously, their whole goal is always not to pay out claims, right? So if they're requesting one, is probably not good. So you should probably go ahead and call an attorney.
And I think we were talking about the minor damage cases. The insurance adjuster's main goal is going to be swoop in and get that statement as fast as possible, because oftentimes injuries, may not manifest themselves for a day or 2 days or 3 days. They swoop in and get that and get you to say, I'm not hurt. I don't need any medical treatment. And that's the first thing that you tell them. Now that's in black and white, that's recorded, and that will haunt you for the remainder of that claim. So, I just, not advisable. Don't do it.
I say it's a blanket no, just straight across the board. Nothing good could ever come of that. Coming from a layperson.
And then the good thing is once you hire an attorney, we shut that down, right? So the recorded statements from third parties that, they'll ask maybe one time, and we just say no or ignore them, and it goes away. All right. Then the only time you're ever going to have to talk is if the case goes to a lawsuit and you have to give a deposition or go to trial. But outside of that, one of the main benefits of hiring counsel early is we take over and we can block and protect you, or those folks that are listening, from those aggressive tactics from the insurance companies and their adjusters.
And they're not your friends.
No, and then they're not in the business of paying claims. They're not in the business of just paying you money. They wouldn't be here if that's all they did was pay everybody top dollar for every single claim that was made. So
Yeah,
it is
that's
just
true.
keeping that in mind. What the goal is they're trying to hang on to as much of that premium money that they get from their insurers as possible.
And I
That's
do
right.
also want to say, if you did give a recorded statement, still don't hesitate to give us a call. All right. Well, usually what happens, like Eric said, you
Right.
only give a recorded statement 2 or 3 days max after the accident, right? And then day 5, that's when you start feeling hurt. You call back that insurance company. They're like, "We're not going to pay you because you're not hurt. You told you weren't hurt," right? So still give us a call, right? We'll still find a way, right? Because we understand how these insurance companies work, right? So just because you gave a recorded statement, it happens, that's more common than anything, right? A client will call us, a new potential client will call a week after the accident. They tell us what happened. They're like, minor impact. I told them I wasn't hurt, but they'll tell you, but I wasn't hurting at that point in time. All right. She's like, but now I'm hurt. Now they don't want to pay for my medical treatment. All right. So what do I do? I'm like, we'll still help you out. Right. We'll still find a way, all right, to make sure you're made whole.
Life gets in the way. And as far as, the money aspect, I mean, the vast majority of our clients cannot afford the
Right.
medical care that they need. And they don't
Mhm.
know where to look. Where are they
Right.
going to find their primary care physician or their family doctor can probably help them with strep throat or with an ailment like that, but they don't know what to do with a neck sprain or a back pain. It's just not their specialty. They don't know where to
Right.
look. Our clients don't know where to look.
From the day y'all started your journey to being a great lawyer, what does the law mean to each of you individually today?
Well, for me, I think it's making sure that everybody has an opportunity to protect their legal rights. The way they say in our world, the personal injury world, especially when on the plaintiff side, we don't charge a fee unless we recover money. A client doesn't have to front any expenses to help to investigate a case, to prosecute a case. So it doesn't matter, um, what your socioeconomic status is, right? It's an open door to everyone. And we're here to be able to help protect the rights of the folks who are disproportionately affected when things go wrong. And for me, and being able to do that, and then we're all, what we said earlier, family firms, and being able to pass those values on down to our children. And it's sort of like the event that we were at, just giving back through this specialty that we have, this license and certification that we have to be able to help folks through this legal process. But number one, it's just access to being able to protect legal rights.
Yeah. For me, it's really from my experience, basically in this field, all I've been doing was personal injury, right? Since I got my bar license, right? So it's really, I really seen what I could do with it and helping out injured clients, right? It's the access they have to us, right? So there are the laws that protect them to make sure they're getting taken care of, right? That's why we exist, right? As plaintiffs, attorneys, right? So we can make sure they're getting paid what they deserve, right? There's been so many examples, so many instances of where I see clients being taken advantage of just because they don't seek counsel, just because they don't know the laws, right? It's just,
Yeah.
they just rely on the people that have the power, right? And usually in our instance, it's always an insurance company, right? They dangle that small settlement check in front of you, like, you got no choice but to take it. So they take it, right? And they don't realize how much they lost down the line, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's helping them have access to us, right? The law is, and for injury side, for for personal injury, it's them allowing to have access to having painting up front, right? So like we take the risk, right? And nothing goes your way, you don't have to worry about it, right? You don't have to worry about paying us or costs, kind of how Eric was explaining, right? So it's having that access, right, to great attorneys to come about a great result for you ultimately at the end.
Lauren, what say you?
Going hand in hand with what these guys have said, the law is a powerful opportunity, resource that the community, that everyone has. They have it there, to help them through these tough times. It exists there, and you just, to use a car analogy, unfortunately, to get there, let us be in the driver's seat. Y'all stay in the passenger seat, and we'll just guide you through this whole process. And that vehicle being the law.
And y'all are experts at it. Folks need to realize they need to let y'all do the heavy lifting. That's just the way it is. And I believe truly, maybe it's been oversaid, but you are the voice for the voiceless.
Absolutely. I think, look, the law can be daunting. Can be very complex. And if you're not adequately represented, you may very well get taken advantage of.
Oh, yeah.
Because you may not fully understand or know what your rights are.
All right, folks, I got this segment here. It's a quick 5 at 5, if y'all are interested.
Let's do it.
Okay, it's the Esteban 5 at 5, quick 5 at 5, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? All right, number one, if lawyers had walk-up music, which would it be for HBO?
Gosh.
Man, if it was for me, I'm a Cowboys fan. It'll be Thunderstruck by AC/DC.
Oh, all right.
We're coming.
That's good.
We're coming.
Man, I don't think I could limit it to a song right now, but a genre. I would have the loudest hip hop rap bass driven song behind me.
I love it. Eric.
I mean, I
how
like
about you?
that. I like loud music. I like bass. People that know me know that. My goodness. In my older age now, I've toned it down quite a bit, though. It's probably going to be some sort of a country song. Man, I would have loved to have a heads up on this one.
It works better like this.
Oh, man. Lauren cheated. She just did genre.
Yeah. General.
I have to give you a lot of credit. That was real quick.
I like that one. That was good.
Yes. Just you hear that song, you're like, oh, here we go. You get amped up, right? You get, something.
And they were just here Friday.
Really? Oh, that's right. They were out in San Antonio.
I did see some folks there.
Well, that song is just iconic, gets you going, right? Gets the blood boiling. Like, here we go.
Especially in the morning.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm trying to I have the song in my head. I'm trying to think what the name of it is. And I think I'm going to go back to hip hop. It's a Houston local rapper. I think the name of the song is Good Morning. But I'd have to look that up to double check it. It's by this is going to be a random reference, but by Chameleonaire. So there you go.
Wow.
I used to listen to that song in the morning. I think that one used to get me pretty amped up. So
I like that. All three, those are great choices. I love it. All right. Pineapple on pizza, hate crime or constitutional?
I wouldn't do it, but I'm not going to say it's a hate crime.
I'm simple. Ever since I was 5 years old, I've all eaten is pepperoni pizza. Maybe some meat lovers here and there. I'm a kid when it comes to my food options. So just put pepperoni, I'm satisfied.
Same here.
Yeah. Hate crime, just pepperoni.
Pepperoni for me too. I love pepperoni. Eric?
Yeah, I'm a if I'm going to be simple, I'll do pepperoni and black olives. But I'll throw some green peppers on there, to some bell peppers and onions and stuff like that. But All the meats tend to get a little overwhelming. So yeah.
I like the green peppers. I'm good with that. Worst drivers, lawyers or doctors?
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Man, I think we're just going to have to take the blame on that one. I think lawyers are. I don't think doctors are. I don't think doctors are checking emails and taking phone calls the way these guys are all the time. We don't turn it off. We can't turn it off.
I think probably lawyers, because I think a lot of lawyers feel like, well, if I get a ticket, I know somebody, or we feel like maybe we have a leg up on trying to get out of some things, But
I
that's
see that. That's a great analogy, and I see that.
But that's also what probably makes it worse, because we sort of have actual knowledge about all of it, like a heightened knowledge. So we probably should be better, but we probably are worse.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that one. All-time favorite go-to food on the go.
Food on the go.
On the go, for me, will probably be a slice of pizza, pepperoni pizza. Easy, handheld. Oh, you're talking about legit on the go. Probably easiest thing to eat while walking.
Is this on the go, like in a car, or is this on the go?
Like, say you're going out of town for a deposition or something.
I think yours is Buc-ee's, Eric. Something at Buc-ee's.
Well, man, I do. It's kind of funny when you tell people that you get brisket at a gas station, but I get that pretty much every time.
Great brisket.
It's not. It's solid. It is solid. It's not maybe like a Franklin's or something, but
right.
But man, for a gas station, yeah, that is my number one. We always stop at Buc-ee's, and it always costs us way too much money, and half of my wardrobe is Buc-ee's. And then I'm not sponsored to say any of that stuff, but
I'm a Whataburger girl. Whataburger all the way. Toasted buns, both sides.
Tell folks how, if they find themselves in just the worst possible situation, accident, their family members, loved ones, you name it, how can they reach Yarrito and Wolfe?
Sure. So if you were involved in a car accident, slipped or fall, you were injured at work, the best way to reach us is our phone number, 512-298-4878. That's our local phone number here in Austin. And then Eric, he's down in San Antonio. But whichever phone number you call, either our Austin phone number or San Antonio phone number, it all goes to our central office. So that's probably the best way to reach us at.
Are y'all 24/7?
Yes.
We are. For new clients, 24/7. So our phone's always ringing, so someone will pick up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yarrito and Wolfe. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Yudo. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you for
having us.
This was great.